I'm going to give you the 5 stats that are most important to you, along with the historical graphs of each. Closed sales dropped. So the number of closed sales for October dropped and is the opposite of the expectation of it rising with the interest rates dropping in September. So if you remember my last month in the market update, I said the expectation with the interest rates dropping is we're going to see closed sales jump. We did not see that. We saw the opposite. It decreased. So the interest rates actually dropped for only like a week and a half, then started increasing back over and over again, all the way up to 7%, which is where we're at today. So it almost gave like a little teaser to buyers of like, hey, we're dropping, here's 6% interest rate. And buyers probably said, well, we'll wait for it to continue to drop. And then it started increasing, and unfortunately, it has increased back up to 7%. Number 2, new listings stayed the same. So the number of new properties coming onto the market for sale increased from 1,389 to only 1,397. So historically, new listings have always dropped for October because basically a lot of sellers will wait for the spring to list their property. The misconception is basically, the buying season isn't during the winter. No one's buying during the winter, which it's the opposite. But still, a lot of sellers tend to wait until the spring to put put the property on the market. So here's the interesting part, though, is that in the last 2 Octobers, we saw inventory increase, which could mean we could be seeing a lot more listings hit the market, especially after the election. Number 3, pending sales increase, which is actually good news. The number of properties that went under contract for October increased. Now, historically, we see pending sales follow closed sales, and with this increase, it tells me that buyers took advantage of the rate drops, but it's taken a lot longer to get to the closing table since closed sales decreased. With pending sales, increase, and usually closed sales will increase as well because pendings lead to closed sales, but that's kind of the opposite. So I think it's taken a lot longer to get to the closing table, which that tends to delay these stats a little longer. Number 4, homes for sale slightly increased. So basically the number of homes for sale increased just slightly. I mean, maybe like 22 properties. Buyers and sellers are basically in a holding pattern for the election, which is next week. Finally, get that past us, and then we don't have to worry about that anymore. And then the big one, the big stat. Number 5, average sales price decreased. That's not what we want, folks. Any homeowner, property owner, condo owner, whatever that is, we want the average sales price to up. Unfortunately, the average sales price decreased. The good news is it only decreased just under 1% this month. Although this decreased, we can hope that it increases with the rate drops from September and October pendings. My concern, though, is moving past next month because the interest rates are back up to 7%. If the rates don't come back down soon after the election, then we could see this number continue to drop because buyers will continue to wait because they were teased a little bit 2 months ago with that 6% rate, and things were dropping, everything was looking good, and buyers were, ready to jump back in the market, and then all of a sudden it just kept on going up. So now we're at 7%. We're back to where we were before, what we were waiting on it to drop down from, and now we're back at 7%. Insane. If you're a seller and you're waiting, basically, it could look like it may take a little longer to get what you're looking to get.